Hello, this is my final project for this semester and I am calling it In Their Own Words. This project uses the voices of GT students themselves to describe their thoughts on the following: experiences with social emotional challenges, what it would be like to have a teacher who is GT or at least understands the GT experience, what it would be like to have an entire class of students like themselves, signs a GT student is struggling with social emotional issues, and what teachers can do if their GT students need support. Because of the variation in their needs and abilities, I let them choose the format of their interview. Some students made a vlog, some made slides, art, or radio interviews. Research shows that GT students have a wide range of needs and abilities, and I wanted to meet them.
Hi, I'm Aiden, and this is my video of how I feel gifted and talented. In a way, how I feel gifted slash talented is because I feel alone. Because I barely have any friends, in school, and I feel bored in class because I have ADHD, and that makes it a struggle for me, and it's hard for me to get friends. Not a lot of people want me to be wants to be friends with me, so that makes it really hard. So I'm hoping I can make some more friends.
This is a self-portrait done by my student Ruby. Notice how she uses color on her own head, but the people in the background don't have any color on their heads at all. For the second part of this program, I wanted to focus on creating a safe, inclusive, culturally responsive learning environment. So I had students tell me what it would be like to have an entire classroom of students just like them. This could be for a core class, an extracurricular, or as an after-school club. What follows is 2 interviews, one with Angelina and then one with Johanna, who both say pretty much the same thing. Being in a class with other GT students is super important.
How would it be important for you to have time with other GT students like you? I felt as if having other GT students having a class with other GT students like me, I mean, like, I know Sophia's gifted and talented, and having like a class full of 20 Sophias would have been like so cool. I think having students like with classmates in a class that y'all are all on the same academic level, but yet y'all still like have the same upbringing for the same, I guess, like culture or the same sense of each other. That helps, and that helps with the wanting to be at school. I mean, there's times where I didn't want to come to school at all because I'm like, I don't like the people in my class. Me and the people, like, we don't click. We just don't go. It's nothing coming for us. It's just, and that was mainly like growing up in elementary. I just said, like 50 times. But having students that get me, it would just make learning a whole lot of better and funner. Waking up, I'm like, this class is going to be the best class because if there's a students like all black students, I guarantee we're all going to be friends and we're all going to be besties.
I think it's important to put kids together who are GT, but not like separate them from kids who aren't. It would be nice to put kids who are GT together because GT kids have a similar way of thinking and they just, can cooperate together and understand each other with their thinking and their, yeah.
Next, I wanted students to tell me their feelings about having a teacher who was GT or was at least trained in understanding what a GT student needs. For example, would that add anything to their own learning experience, or would it not make much of a difference at all?
Being black and in GT, it's different because I feel the need that I have to go 5 times more than any other person in my class, because if I were to be on the same level as them, it would be like me being lazy or me being thought less than, and just the natural bias. And someone adult that is experienced with the same things is important, so I can have that support emotionally and academically.
Here's a drawing done by Sasha. There's a lot of information going on here, although it looks like a simple drawing at first. There's information about her feelings on GT teachers, some of the negative talk that she gives herself and self-criticism, and some of the pressure that comes from her parents. For example, only getting a 96 on a quiz instead of doing better. As far as signs and signals go that teachers should be looking out for, my students gave me multiple examples, and they were all in line with their research on this topic, as you will see in the next set of slides and student videos. I included this prompt because I wanted to initiate a conversation among my GT students that would help facilitate their understanding of how important it is to address their affective needs and how to express their needs.
How would it be important to have an adult in the room who is GT? Okay, so I feel as if it is best to have, like, if it's a GT class, we need like GT teachers, or not, well, we don't need them, but it's better because these teachers would know, you know, what we've been through, or like kind of like how we feel and how we do things and how we comprehend. Like, having a non-GT teacher, maybe sometimes like they just don't get it, and it's so hard because, you know, they don't get how you think, or they don't get how you understand. And with the GT teacher, it would be easier, like, you know, like my homie, you know what I'm feeling, you know what I'm going through, you know how I comprehend, you know how I think, you know. So
just be a normally good teacher. Don't be a jerk, and just, I haven't felt like an outsider myself, but I guess be accepting or understanding of when a student feels like one, or they feel like the class is moving slow, or they need help because of something like that. And that's all I got.
As far as what teachers should do if they notice the signs previously mentioned, research says that the most effective things a teacher can do is just to listen. In their research on this topic, Peterson, for example, lists multiple strategies to successfully listen to our GT students. These next few slides are all based on Peterson's research.
And for some practices or action that a teacher can take to help those GT students is making sure that the student feels like the place that they're in is their safe space and is normal and is protecting them. Do not force any students to do anything that they wouldn't like or want to do. And instead of forcing them, encourage them to ask for help or work with others. If they do not or wish not to, then leave them be. They're fine if they reassure you. Give them your trust and attention when they do something or ask something of you. It'll make them feel capable and make them feel as though you are serious and acknowledge them. Spend more time to understand them and help them in their interests. Make sure that you understand them and understand what they are passionate about. Even if you don't really get what they are saying, make sure to always support them in what they like to do, as long as it is keeping them and everybody else safe. And thank you for this PSA, and I hope you have a great day.
In conclusion, this is a project that can be done in any classroom with students who are GT, and it focuses on their social emotional needs. Research shows that letting students talk about these matters while we listen is extremely beneficial to their well-being. It also opens up a lot of inroads towards creating an inclusive, welcoming classroom, getting students to look inward at their own motivations, and verbalizing what we as teachers can do to help them be successful. I've already seen a change in my interaction with these students, and I look forward to how it will affect the rest of the school year with them. For the next steps with this project, I plan on sharing this video with my PLC, my team, and other teachers in the building who have GT students. I would also like for the parents of these students to see the video if it's okay with the students themselves. I think it could possibly change the conversations that are happening at home in a good way for many of the students I interviewed. Thank you for watching.